I'm going to pass you over to the person, if we didn't have, this wouldn't happen. He doesn't like it. He doesn't take praise very well at all. In fact, he's cowering in the background. So can everybody say hello to Lawrence?
Well, I'm really, really impressed with how many people are here tonight. Out of the 4 meetings we've had so far, this is by far and away the best. For me, tonight's about explaining to the people who haven't been here before just what's transpired over the last 13 years of governance with our Labour Party. The Labour Party that we all grew up to vote for naturally. It was never in question as to whether we voted for them or not. And I'm saying now that is a fact that we shouldn't. I'm going to start off with just going over, reiterating what I've said in the past, which was about what their transgressions are, how that came to fruition for us, the strange timing of where we are now as a movement coming into a period called PERDA, which is a period of time where hopefully the Echo won't speak too badly of us, and we will be able to then speak about the transgressions, as I spoke about before, of the Labour Party. You all need to go online and pick up the Max Coley report. The Max Coley report is evidence of absolute fraud and corruption, which is evidenced there in 65 anomalies where the council have acted improperly and didn't follow the Nolan principles. And by not following the Nolan principles, they have not got best value for the people that voted them into power. Now, if you want me to go into more detail than that, I'm more than happy to go into detail. I know it back to front. But basically, they have been given the power to give away assets and have done, in my view, to friendships, not for the benefit of the people who voted them into power. That's my view. I'm happy to take any questions on that, but the Labour Party were a part of the Max Coley report from when it was first created. In fact, they went to the House of Parliament and stated, "Thank you, Conservative Party, for allowing us to be abreast of this investigation from day dot." The problem is, for the last 18 months, Cunningham, who's in charge of the investigation, has not been allowed to go further back. In fact, he's now looking forward. And what worries me is the transgressions of the past will be repeated because it's not there in absolute evidence. It is to me, because I took the time to read the Max Coley report many times. I also know the individuals. I also know the councillors. So I've got traction in reading that booklet. It's large, it's heavy, it's tough to get through. So you're just going to have to accept my word that the Labour Party and the Conservatives were abreast of the Max Coley report from its inauguration and delivered it to the people, and yet the Echo hardly spoke of those transgressions.
Does any paper ever talk about these transgressions anywhere? So the Echoes are different, they're just as rotten as the rest.
I think what you find now is that the press will pick sides. It would be hard to see the Guardian speaking badly of Keir Starmer. Again, speaking from my view, the Echo gaining 1.4 million a year from the council. Their editor, chief editor at the time, receiving a salary of between £140,000 and £170,000 a year for a couple of days a week in an arena, Echo Arena, that he has no knowledge of as he is an editor. So I think those friendships carry on, whether it be business friendships or whether it be editor friendships. I think the people of the city have never got to find out the truth. And if you think about the Echo, they are the only newspaper and actually should be known as the litmus of truth for the city. And yet they're not. Which is why we wanted to wait until PERDA kicks in. Because that is the main utensil in their war box against anyone that dare go up against them. And we are going to go up against them. We are going to have enough councillors to attack them in the north where it will really hurt them. Isn't it strange that the Conservatives have been in power for roughly 13 years, the same time roughly as the Labour Party have been in power in Liverpool? There's hardly any difference between the two. The corruption in the Conservative government is extreme. It is there to see. Newspapers don't really talk about it that often. In the same way, or the same ilk as what the echo have been with our local council. So that absolute power corrupts absolutely is evident throughout the country. Yeah. Okay. But I'm saying Liverpool is a damn sight worse than any other council, and is proven to be factually worse. It's the largest city to ever come under these actions by Whitehall. I believe there's a great injustice, and I think if we don't stand up now, in May, after that time, whoever gets voted into power is there for 4 long years. The same fraud and corruption and the same cabal that sat beneath Joe, because Joe didn't do this on his own. Joe Anderson could not sign off. He needed council officers and councillors on committees to sign off. And in the same vein as what Dave said before about friendships, those people were there on friendships. They weren't there on merit. It was an autocracy. The autocracy ensured that the people that needed to vote for what Joe wanted were there in place. And those people that were in place just done Joe's bidding. Those people are still there. Those people are, well, that depends, doesn't it? So that depends on how angry we get in this room, because it isn't this room, 200, 300 people. It is the connections to this room of the 200, 300 people that we push out that message. That message resonates. That friend to friend, peer to peer, socially online, pushing out messages saying, you know, this is fraudulent and corrupt and needs to stop. We will not allow the Labour Party to get into power for a further 4 years, because I guarantee 4 more years, 2 years in, we'll be back to normal. Tonight's about the fire in the belly to ensure that you wish to stand up for your community in order for you to right the wrongs of the past and to ensure that those wrongs don't reappear again. So I'm hoping from tonight, you don't just think about standing yourself. I hope you reach out to people who you believe are able and capable of running for those posts, because we haven't got long. Purdah is a 6-week period, and it is a smash and grab. We need to hit hard, get over the message of not just fraud and corruption, but also about how we believe we can put those wrongs right, how we believe we can reach into the communities, how we believe we can reinvest in those communities, how we believe we can raise the money from what was gifted away to friendships, but actually should stay within the council in order for us to reap the benefits of the profits from those sites. That's what we're here to do. It isn't just about shouting down a corrupt Labour Party. It's about putting right those wrongs and ensuring that we're going forward in the right path, making sure that our children have jobs to go to, making sure that our communities have investment, which they haven't had for 13 years. If Labour Party get caught with their hands in the till again tomorrow, and 10 of them go and get charged and arrested, the Labour Party still will gain power, because they're the only ones who reportedly are stating that they've got 85 individual councillors running for their posts.
These people are so complicit and take the people's loyalty in this city for granted.
Sure.
That's why they put their hands in the till, because you know
they get away with it.
Come of it. They're safe.
Yeah. So there's a distinct difference now, I think, and it's strange timing. For the first time, the right of the parties took over. Sheila Murphy now picks out who is going to represent those communities, ostracising the people that should be there, voting into the position of running for that council position. Sheila Murphy now runs the Labour Party from the right. That means she's now ostracised the left. So if you look, as I do, avidly at comments in the Echo and also online, social online, Liam Robinson did a video four weeks ago. He had 6,000 views when I looked last. There were 300 comments. Every single one was negative. I've never known that before, because normally the left of the party, who are most vocal, they're the ones who normally come to defend. And normally I would say, for every good comment, there's a bad comment. That's totally changed. I think the landscape has changed. The political landscape in this city has changed. The left have left the party in general. The right have took over. But I think the noisy part of the Labour Party has left. That's just my view, by the way, based on what I see. So I don't see Labour Party they couldn't fill a room like this. There's no chance on this earth that Labour Party could fill a room like this. They had their manifesto launch the other day. I think there was 20 people in the room. That's their biggest launch, 20 people in the room. So what I'm saying is, I think the landscape has changed. I don't think the same gratitude that was gifted through birth to Labour Party is still there today. I'm a kid who got brought up within the youth centres. I learned to play ping pong in the youth centres. It's still with me today. It got me off the streets. Those youth centres, years later, pretty much have been decimated. Those youth centres need to be our communities again. And I think that's where the councillors should resonate from. I think that's where money should start and finish. I think they become our community centres again. And therefore then, guys. If we're allowed to do that, if we can raise the money through not giving away our assets to ensure that we keep hold of the profits and we can then push that profit out to what will probably be about 25 wards. Not every single ward needs funding, but certainly 25 of them probably do. So on that basis, we bring back those youth centres and we create those youth centres into job centres as well for our youth. So if we've got a Walton youth centre, we would go to Home and Bargain and say, this is now your social responsibility. We stick Home and Bargain above Walton Youth Centre. They're now dialed into their social responsibility, and the kids in that youth centre are no longer looking at the kid in the BMW at 20 years of age who gets his money quite freely. He's looking at the MD, he's looking at a Spark, he's looking at a Joiner, and that conduit, that natural conduit from Home and Bargain, their job is to ensure that there's a conduit out of the street into their workforce. That's what we need to do in multiple places. We're going to bring the night to a close now. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. But the passion view is that when you leave tonight, please sit and think about who you could ask to run for a counter position up against a corrupt Labour Party, a Labour Party that is stealing the food out of your children's mouths. That's a fact, by the way. And all you have to do is pick one person that you think is capable and able enough to come and represent your community. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.